Thai family, and welcome to another episode of Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all family, all your ways, and that you're moving into living life very much on your own terms, in your own rhythm, in spiritual time, family. Because let me tell you, I'm reporting live and direct from the 5D, the fifth mother dimension. And I've never been so at peace. I've never felt so vibrant. I've never been in such perfect health, such perfect mental health, perfect physical health, perfect spiritual health. And I just encourage you, family, to make you your priority transitioning into this new reality, because there's a lot of things that you're going for now based on the way the world was, based on the matrix, which has totally died, that is taking so much energy and so much time. Whereas if you would shift dimensional, shift perspective, you could really experience life in a whole other way. And instead of taking 5 years to do things, literally things can happen in 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months. So definitely worth it. There's an acceleration for those of us who are living on that higher dimension. And when I say fifth dimension, it's more about a higher level of thinking, a more sophisticated use of your mind, use of your energy, use of your intelligence, use of your skills, where you just don't sweat the small stuff anymore. You don't sweat the 3D stuff. 3D is who did what, this, who, what, where, why, how. That's literally 3D. It's all about this physical. But 5D, as much as you're in the physical, it's coming through a spiritual channel. So it's magical, family. But those are stories for other days. I've actually done a whole show on what it's like to be in the 5D, five kind of signs. And I didn't even know how to phrase it, but definitely check it out. If you'd like to catch it first before it appears on the public platform, then consider joining our Patreon. And thanks to everyone who has supported us on Patreon. You guys are literally the ones who are producing the show and enabling us to continue to bring the awakening news to our people. Thanks to every single person that has sent us PayPal donations. We do have a gift for you in the mail. And to everyone who has bought our single and our ringtones on Gumroad, we appreciate, love you so much for doing that. So family, there's this whole thing that's been going on, and where they talk about how, I don't know if you've been seeing it in the news. The minute I saw CNN was the one behind this story, I was like, oh my God. Here is another predictive programming story, just like the Rihanna and the Super Bowl. Definitely check the show I did out on that. But over the last 2 weeks, or for the past week or so, Canada and the divided states have been shooting down so-called UFOs in the skies, and people are wondering what are these objects and everything. Multiple flying objects have been tagged for the most part as unidentified, and they've been shot down by US fighter jets. Another destroyed object was identified by the US military as a Chinese surveillance balloon, and it almost looks like the divided states under attack. Because we've all heard that, 2023, I mean, that's it. I was just reading the news. We've all heard that 2023 is going to be a major year of chaos for the divided states. And, there's different prophets and seers and visionaries who have talked about how they saw the divided states being invaded. They saw UN troops in the divided states. They saw China and Russia in the divided states. And the only reason the divided states is still somehow holding together, and that is because of the consciousness of the people. The group consciousness of the small number of people who are awake in the divided states is what is keeping that nation afloat. And once those people are guided out of there, or guided to the inner earth worlds within on the Turtle Island, I'm not going to get too deep into that. We're really going to see the total collapse, because Babylon Matrix is literally being unheld by people's fear of the unknown, of fully releasing the past. That's the only reason they're still existing. And you guys, the reason that the divided states is already now, UFO shot from the sky, is because they're planning a fake alien invasion to kind of try and mess with the minds of the people, because the so-called aliens are already here. Some of those aliens never left. They've been around. And there's increasing sightings, especially of cloud formations, and all these different kind of supernatural activities. Family, me, I'm connected to. There's always like right now, I'm looking into the sky. I wish I could just point the camera. There's a massive black cloud right above me. Is that a spaceship? Because what I feel is that Babylon knows that in this reality, it's a consensus reality. So the truth that the majority believe becomes the truth of the world. But there's a caveat in that, because as people, they brought people so low that a lot of people are basic robots. But now with this ascension people, there's an emergence of a new race of or new breed that are moving on a way higher vibration, and they're influencing reality. They're influencing the group consciousness, and they're literally taking the group, snatching the group consciousness from the Babylon system, which is why there's been such crazy censorship, which is why they targeted and tried to eliminate the David Ikes and the Riza Islams of this world, which is why there's been so much tried control of the news, because this other alternative news, alternative information is gaining rapid momentum. And one of the big, and the conspiracy theorists of the past, as I've said before, are emerging as the prophets of today. And more people, especially as as the matrix falls and people's consciousness has nothing to like hold on to, more people now are grappling for information outside of their regular sources. For a lot of the people who have been in deep slumber, the CNNs of this world are just not a vibrational match anymore. And there's so much outcry about against different alternative, alternative censorship, et cetera, that even the hardest core people in religious psychosis, or the ones who really buy into the Babylon lies, are finding themselves now curious enough to look at alternative voices. And one of the biggest things that's emerging is that we are not alone. Our ancient ones are back. I've been saying that for like the last 3 years. The ancestors are among us. Some have incarnated physically. Some are on motherships around us. There is so much alien activity that's going on from many beings from many different worlds. And some are just beings from right here, family. And Babylon knows that if they don't control the narrative of the so-called alien invasion, if they don't try and kind of orchestrate that themselves, then they are totally going to lose humanity in a twinkle of an eye when the real ones actually reveal themselves. And the reason the real ones haven't revealed themselves, family, is because we're not yet a vibrational match. A lot of these beings that are in these so-called alien ships, that are in these cloud formations, where you look and you just know in your heart of hearts that that's not a cloud. You just know it because you're on the beach, it's a sunny day, and then in the middle of nowhere, there's like a black cloud somewhere. And, we believe, we know, not even believe, we know that our ancestors travel in the clouds, family. And so they want to control this narrative in their attempt to keep control of Mama Earth as long as possible, or the consciousness, because they don't control Mama Earth. Let me even just take that back. Mama Earth is back in control. She's getting ready to cleanse. We're actually the ones who are delaying the great full restoration with our consciousness, because our consciousness is another elemental. Let's say like that. Let's put it like that. The collective human consciousness is another elemental that needs to be taken into consideration by Mama Earth as she transforms. And we've tried as rapidly as possible to awaken ourselves and take ourselves to a new vibration so that we carry the consciousness of the planet to a new vibration. But if some of these beings came through now, we couldn't handle them energetically. And they would shift our reality, which is not how things are supposed to work. But they are here, energizing those who are ready. So whether the divided states is under attack from Russia and whatever, and they're trying to pretend that, it's an alien invasion, or whether they're trying to, it's all an act, family. It's all an act. Like, I hope by now you know that there was never any landing on the moon. first step for mankind and step for man and step. That never happened, family. That was actually Hollywood. It was a great Hollywood production. These guys lie so much. Do you really think they have the technology to bring down a UFO? Like all the technology that the divided states has, they got from lower vibing aliens, if you want to call it, the greys and stuff, in return for allowing these lower vibing aliens or whatever, the ones we've seen with the big eyes and the greys and all this stuff and the reptilians, in return for them experimenting on their people. That's why there's so many like alien abductions and all this kind of stuff that happens in the divided states. But the aliens, whoever you want to call them, whether you want to call them God, whether you want to call them aliens, and it was talked about chariots of fire. Our people are back, family. And they're going to try and create a false kind of invasion. And there's so much they're going to try and trick you with these physical eyes. That's why your spiritual evolution should be your priority. And when you see them starting to pull out tricks like this, of shooting down this and doing that and that, know that time is of the essence and you're kind of running out of time now. We're getting ready for the main event. And the main event is going to be a fake event. But sadly, the few that they control in that group consciousness will fall for that. But we need to have secured our own consciousness so that when the group consciousness falls for that, we don't. And a lot of that, us got that trial run with the pandemic, where everyone, we made enemies with family, with friends. We've already been through that test, family. But for now, the new wavers who are awakening now, who are ascending now, that's going to be their challenge of like, protect your mind from the lies of Babylon and how Babylon slowly creates a narrative. And anytime Babylon tells you a story, ask why and why now. Don't fall for the okie doke, family. Don't fall for the BS. Everything is orchestrated. They're not the alien beings that they'll try and make you think they're fighting in the space, whatever. It's because the chariots of fire that hold our ancestors are here now. They can keep wiggling around. They can keep trying to control the people, trying to torture the people, put the people in fear, chip the people, all these things. But ultimately, the ancient ones are back. The chariots of fire are here. And when the real aliens make themselves known, trust me, family, you'll know. You'll know. So don't fall for this nonsense. Definitely consider supporting the channel, family, because as we share these alternative stories, it limits our possibility of getting monetized by YouTube. You can either support us on Patreon, where we do release more exclusive content that we can't release here. Support us with a love donation, and we'll definitely send you a gift in the mail. Or consider buying our new theme song, Change My Mind, or some of our ringtones. All the links.
Hear a clarion call. It's time to rise and shine. Time to get what's mine. Yeah. And I want it all. Beyond the riches of the world, to the promises of God for my life. So I'm saying goodbye.